Hello and welcome to another video from Never a Truer Word, where we look at the words that people choose to use to see if we can find out what's going on behind them. And Zav Girl is the person that we are going to be looking at today, a YouTube internet content creator around true crime who's found herself at the center of a controversy this week. Zav Girl and other YouTubers have been accused of exploiting a victim of a crime by putting autopsy pictures of a young child online behind a paywall. So basically paying people to see these autopsy pictures of a young child. It's caused a lot of controversy in the community of true crime. And we're going to look at a statement that Zav Girl issued on her YouTube channel to hit back at her critics to see what's really going on with her. Normally, we look at people's statements and their words to find out if they're telling the truth, if they're telling lies, or where the truth sits amongst what they're saying. With this, I'm going to look at Zav Girl's statement. I'm going to work out, or I'm going to point out, the manipulative language that she uses in the statement. If you like this video, if you get something from it, please press the like button. Share it on social media so that more people can learn about deceptive language, because I think, or manipulative language, I think there's a lot of good learning in this video as well. Things to watch out for in general, not just statements from people who are at the center of a controversy. And subscribe to this channel as well if you want to get more videos like this when they are released. So this is a statement from Zav Girl. It's about 550 words long, and inside this, so much is going on, but I'm going to focus especially on the manipulative language and word choices that Zav Girl makes in this statement. So let's break it down. She starts off by saying, "Hi guys, I want to address what's going on right now with the Gannon autopsy coroner video I created. Unfortunately, this seems to be something where people are very divided on how they feel about it, and I'm hearing a lot from both sides. The beginning of anyone's statement is really important. It usually reveals that person's priority, the most important thing that they want to get across. And I don't think this is any different now. This is showing what is top of her mind, and that's manipulating us. Top of her mind is creating this division between equal sides, which I don't think it is. But look, how can we tell that? Well, she says people are very divided on how they feel. She's added the word very before divided to emphasize the division. She could have just said people are divided on it, but she's saying very divided on it. And she's hearing a lot from both sides. There's she's hearing a lot from both sides, not more from one side than the other. Now, I don't know what she's hearing, but I've seen much more on the anti side of things. And I think this is her first attempt to manipulate us. The priority, the first thing she sets out there is that there are two sides to this story. And she's implying both sides are round about equal numbers. But no, she doesn't say that. She doesn't say it outright. I'm hearing just as much for me as against me. I've got as much support as I have hate. She's not saying that because when things aren't true, we don't have the real language to bring that to life in our words. So although she's implying and she's manipulating by saying it's very divided and I'm hearing a lot from both sides, she doesn't have the words to say both sides are equal. Zav Girl goes on to say, the reality of the situation is that some people feel differently about this. Is that different people feel differently about this. Some people genuinely think making a video including the autopsy photos is bad, and I respect their opinion and feelings. We'll see that she doesn't really later on. Other people, like myself, think of autopsy photos and the coroner discussing/explaining them as interesting and informative and are able to view it all in a more scientific, detached way. It's just one of those things where it depends on the person." Okay, so first words here are manipulative. She's telling us this is the facts that are coming. Don't argue with these because this is the reality. The reality of the situation is this. Therefore, this is the truth. Well, it's not. And it's really banal what she says here. The reality of any situation is that different people feel differently about things. So she's not pointing out any deep understanding or anything like that. Indeed, she's just trying to tell us what the facts are. And again, it's equal. Different people feel differently about it. I don't think it is equal. She then goes on to say, some people genuinely think making a video is bad. Not just think, some people think making the video is bad. No, she says some people genuinely think making the video is bad. When do we use that word genuinely when we're talking about what people think? It's wording we use when we know people do think differently from us, but we can't quite believe that they think this thing. We think it's a bit odd that they think this thing. For example, you might hear someone say, some people genuinely think we went to the moon. Or some people genuinely think Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, but look at all the evidence. But they genuinely think that. So I think what she's saying here is she can't believe that people think that. We've got manipulation again here. It looks like she's setting out both sides of the argument and showing her understanding of both sides of the argument. But look how she sets both sides out. The people who are against her, they just think it's bad. No other explanation. She doesn't say why people think it's bad. She just says people think it's bad, but she says why people think it's good. On her side, she says people see it as interesting and informative and scientific, all positive qualities that something could have. Interesting, informative, and scientific. And actually, she doesn't lay out the fact that people think it's bad because she's making money from pictures of a victim of a crime. She doesn't lay that out at all. And then there's an admission there that it's detached. If you are on the good side, you have to be detached from everything. Well, is detached a good thing to be? Or is she actually, what she's saying there is people who are more joined up in the world, who feel empathy with the victim of this crime and the victim's family of this crime, and potentially just society in general, people who are not detached, they're the ones that think what you're doing is bad. To think it's good, you have to be more detached. You have to not be joined up to other people around you. So I think a bit of an admission there that in order to be on her side, you have to detach yourself from a lot of things. Next, Zav Girl says, I am not adamantly against taking down the video if people are truly unhappy with it, and I will absolutely consider doing that. But right now, it seems there are a lot of other people who are acting in bad faith and creating lies for fun and excitement in order to pit others against me. And then there's a section of her statement which is deleted. I want to acknowledge it was there, but out of respect for the victim, the victim's family, I'm not going to include the specific section that I've deleted in this video. Let's deal with what is there. I'm not adamantly against taking the video down. Well, that means you are against taking the video down, just not adamantly against taking the video down. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said adamantly. So I don't think she's against taking, sorry, I think she is against taking the video down, just not adamantly. Things might change in the long run. Note she says, if people are truly unhappy with it. Well, people are truly unhappy with it. There's no if about it. So why is she doing that? Well, I think what we're getting to here is this victim status that she's trying to paint. She's the victim here, not the family of the dead boy at all. She's the victim. Another thing, she says she will absolutely consider taking the video down if people are truly unhappy with it. Well, the word absolutely, why have that there? Well, it's a word that appears in deception so often. Why not just say, I will consider taking the video down? No, she will absolutely consider taking the video down. She wants to persuade us that she will. So that's why she adds absolutely. Absolutely is a word that appears in deception time and time and time again. And then she goes on to paint herself as the victim because people are acting in bad faith, creating lies for fun and excitement in order to pit others against me. Now look how vague this is. She doesn't really think she's a victim because once again, she doesn't have real words to talk about how this is. It just seems there are a lot of other people. So seems is vague. Other people are vague and they want to pit others against her. So she doesn't really believe she's a victim at all. This is all manipulative picture painting from her. Zav Girl goes on. So it's a bit difficult to sort through what's what when there are other creators who have the same autopsy photos up right here on YouTube for public viewing on their channel, where anyone can stumble across them and they are not being attacked as I am right now. It becomes obvious that some of this hate I'm receiving is not genuine and is being done for other reasons. YouTube drama gets clicks. Okay, so it's only a bit difficult to sort through what's what. That means it's not difficult at all. You should maybe be able, if it's only a bit difficult, sort through what's what quickly. And again, it's the victim. I am being attacked. The other people are not being attacked. It's just me that's being attacked. You see the word obvious there. It's obvious that some of this hate I'm receiving is not genuine. Again, she's trying to tell us what the facts are because it's obvious. Don't argue with me. It's obvious. Manipulative language. If someone tells you, obviously I can't do that, or obviously they are having an affair, or anything like that, they are trying to tell you what the facts are with words like obvious. Notice it slips out though. She said previously that maybe people aren't genuinely unhappy with her. They're not truly hacked off that she's done this, but she only says here, some of this hate I'm receiving is not genuine and has been done for other reasons. So she is acknowledging there that there is genuine dislike for what she does, but her focus is going to be on the some that she thinks is not genuine. Manipulative language and painting herself as the victim. Next from Zav Girl. I understand some of you have issues with me charging money on my Patreon for the video. If I was charging money for the autopsy files alone, or something like that, I think I'd see your point. But in this case, I spent a lot of time and worked hard putting together a video lining up the coroner's audio and descriptions along with the appropriate part of the photos she is describing and editing it together to try and make it as informative as possible for the viewer. That is what I'm charging for, which I would hope you can agree is understandable. Well, no, I can't, Zav Girl. Your argument there is that no matter how vile your content, no matter how illegal your content, you can put it online and you can get people to pay for it as long as some hard work went into it. That's your argument there. Doesn't matter what goes online. It could be vile, could be illegal, could be hateful. You can charge people for it as long as you put some hard work into it. That argument does not hold any water. What else have we got here? Again, manipulative language. I understand some of you have issues with me charging money, just some, playing down the fact that most of the issues I've seen anyway are about her charging money to see these pictures. And notice she says, she tries to say she wants to give the impression that she is charging money for the hard work that went into making this video, but she says, if I was charging money for the autopsy files alone. So what she's actually saying there is, I am charging money for the autopsy files and the hard work. Think of it like a restaurant. If we were charging money for the food alone, it would be much cheaper. But we're charging for the food, the service, the rent, and the place that you're in to eat the meal. Alone means that you are charging money for the autopsy files, and then you're saying you're charging money for something else. So an admission there that she is, at least in her head, slightly charging money for the autopsy files. Again, manipulative language. Look at the end there. I would hope you can agree is understandable. She's telling us what to think when we read this. Manipulative language, trying to tell us what the facts are and trying to tell us what we should think. Zav Girl continues. Anyway, thank you to those who have reached out to me with your take on it in a respectful way, who understand that this is simply a bit of a grey area as to what is socially acceptable and what isn't. Now, again, manipulative. She looks like she's thanking everyone who's reached out to her, but then she qualifies it down to a very narrow section of people who have reached out to her. She thanks those who have reached out to her in a respectful way and who understand it's simply a bit of a grey area. So that is not everyone that's reached out to her and thinks it's black and white. This is wrong. You should not be doing this. That's not a grey area. She's only really thanking the people who agree with her. And look, she lets her manipulation in the light here. Previously, she said it was very divisive. There was lots of people on both sides. It was black, it was white. Some people thought it was bad, some people thought it was good. And now she's saying it's simply a bit of a grey area. Manipulation once more. She carries on. Like I said, I'm not against removing the video. You didn't say that. You said you were not adamantly against removing the video, so you are against removing the video. And I care what you think. I don't think she does. But it's hard to make sense of it all while I'm getting some very seriously unhinged threats being made against myself and my loved ones. And those threats are coming from those who claim I'm doing something morally objectionable. Well, why not take the video down, then make sense of it? Because then you won't be getting the threats from people who think you're doing something morally objectionable. You'd be helping your loved ones stay safe from threats there. I don't think this is really happening. I think this is deceptive again from her. You could just remove that content right now, but you want to keep the content up. It's very, very clear you want to keep this content that people disagree with. You want to keep that up. Victim painting. Again, I'm the victim. I'm getting unhinged threats against myself and my loved ones. Zav Girl finishes. For those of you who are willing to discuss this rationally and want to communicate your thoughts, please comment on this post as I might not see it anyone else. So we're manipulative and controlling. Only say what you have to say here. Incidentally, in a forum that she can control. She can delete comments she doesn't like. So she's trying to be, don't go anywhere else that she doesn't control to have your say. Only do it there. So that's manipulative and it's controlling. After I deal with the threats, I will come back and read everything here so I can get an idea on the best way to proceed based on all of your input. Thank you guys, Zav. So once again, mention of the threats. So she's playing the victim again. And also I think just there is a bit of a, she doesn't really think that people who disagree with her are discussing things rationally. Again, like people genuinely think that. Whew. Do I need to say what my conclusions are? This is a highly manipulative statement. So many markers of manipulative language there, trying to tell us what the facts are and trying to tell us what it is that us reading that statement should think. It's a bit scary, if I'm being honest with you, Zav Girl. Your manipulation, your controlling language in there ain't good. She does not want to take the video down. Whether that is because it is making her serious money, whether that is because she doesn't want to lose face by saying, I screwed up and I did the wrong thing, whether she fears that doing that will damage her online brand, I don't know. Maybe more analysis of the words would say why she wants to keep that video up. But ultimately, 500 words of manipulation and controlling, or attempts to control there, which is when I see she sent a message like this earlier on today asking for an email address so she can contact the victim's family. Steer well clear of that email if you get it, because that will be just as manipulative, if not worse. If you enjoyed this video, please press the like button. Share it with anyone on your social media so that we can spread the word, because I think that inside that manipulative language that I pointed out is really good to know. If someone is talking to you or writing to you and trying to manipulate you, if you can spot that manipulation, I think that is a valuable skill to have. If you want to connect on social media, it's connect.neveratruerword.com. If you want to read some posts about how people use language and how to uncover the truth, how to uncover lies, deception, and manipulative, controlling language in people's words, posts.neveratruerword is a good place to go. And on videos.neveratruerword.com, you'll see more videos like this one. And we'll see you again soon for another video from Never a Truer Word.